U.S. sanctions bans Venezuela's National Development Bank. The U.S. imposed sanctions against Venezuela's National Development Bank and four financial institutions it controls, alleging it helped prop up the government of the country's president, Nicolás Maduro. The penalties were imposed on Banco de Desarrollo Económico y Social de Venezuela, or BANS, the Treasury Department said on Friday. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin cited the arrest of opposition leader Juan Guaido's chief of staff, Roberto Marrero, in a statement on the latest sanctions. The regime's continued use of kidnapping, torture, and murder of Venezuelan citizens will not be tolerated by the U.S. or the international coalition that is united behind President Guaido, Mnuchin said in a statement. Roberto Marrero, U.S. officials said the move was significant for two reasons. Maduro keeps, the officials said the Venezuelan government had started moving away from the central bank, shifting funds to BANS. Treasury had their banks that transact with BANS will now face a high risk of sanctions themselves, the officials added. The other institutions sanctioned on Friday are Banco BANS Uruguay South A, based in Uruguay. Banco Vicente, Uruguay's central bank, said last month that Venezuela's government and state-owned companies are using the local unit of BANS more to handle financial transactions after U.S. sanctions restricted access to the global banking system. The sanctions will curb Venezuela's ability to restructure debt with China because the bank is the axis of that bilateral relationship, Angel Alvarado, a lawmaker at the Venezuelan National Assembly and member of the Finance Committee, said on Twitter. This makes it harder. China has extended about $60 billion of loans to Venezuela in the past decade or so to be repaid with crude oil shipments and as financing for bilateral projects. The terms of the loan, updates with officials' comments on significance of sanctions starting in 5th paragraph. To contact the reporters on this story, Sulya Mosin in Washington at smosin2@bloomberg.net. Ethan Bronner in. To contact the editors responsible for this story, Alex Wayne at awayne3@bloomberg.net, Justin Bloom, John Harney. For more articles like this, please visit us at Copyright 2019 Bloomberg LP.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.